This podcast is for mature adults and may contain explicit language. The members of this podcast opinions are solely based on their experiences, interactions, and life situations. It does not reflect the views of everyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
But homie, I grew up in hell, a block away from heaven. That corner 15 minutes and move a 7. Pure snow, bag it then watch it go. Occupational options, get some blow or some hoes. Shoot the ball of the strap, learn the rap or the jack. Fuck it, man, in the meantime, go ahead and pump a pack. This my Regal Royal flow, my James Bond bounce. That 007, that 62 on my count. I'm an undercover liar, I lie under the...
Okay, so our favorite TV show is coming back. Power. I'm super juiced about that. Our favorite ghost, sexy ass ghost, is coming back.
Crazy ass Tommy's coming back.
Yes, crazy white boy as well. I'm super excited. I can't believe it's already been a year. The suspense has been real, but finally we're like a week away. This is epic.
This is epic. This is probably one of the most anticipated seasons that has come out thus far. I think there was a lot of holes that were left open from last season. There's some people that I definitely feel like need to die. And then hopefully it doesn't take them all season to get to it. I think this season is going to move very quickly in the beginning, and I think there's a lot of moving parts. Especially when you start thinking about all of the new people that have been introduced to the story, like the politician. I was about to call that man Tay Diggs.
Councilman Tate.
Councilman Tate.
Rashad.
Yes. And we're going to get into his character a little bit too, but I feel like that guy's super aggressive.
Yeah, there's something about him, and I don't know what it is, but I've been trying to figure him out since he came into the picture. But when he was talking to Ghost crazy and shit, when Raina, died, I was like, no, Ghost, why are you letting this fool punk you? I'm trying to figure him out. Like we said earlier, he has something to do with that world, why he doesn't want those motherfuckers on the block, but I'm going to be on his head. I'm going to be like a motherfucking detective this season.
Yeah, I almost feel like with that guy, Ghost put himself in a worse position than he was dealing with Stern, because with this politician guy, I feel like not only does he have that whole politician thing down, but he's street too. So with Stern, he always had a one-up on Stern because he had that street knowledge, and I think this politician is going to be a little bit more trouble because we don't know all the dealings that this politician has had either. Even with the whole thing with Dre showing up to their meeting, I thought was kind of odd and random that he knew Dre the way he knew Dre, and for him to just show up to a meeting like that, I don't know. I just felt like that was very interesting, and I feel like that's going to come back somehow, some way, of who this guy is, what he's really involved in. Because he's right now to me a big question mark and an X factor, because I feel like he's going to be involved in some things that we didn't even know he was involved in.
Right. Hold your thought there, though. What is up, y'all? We just dove right into this power conversation. We're really juiced about it coming back. But before we continue yapping our gums here, please make sure that you're hitting us up. You know our handles. And if you don't know our handles, if you're just tuning in to us and listening to us for the first time, you can always reach us at by email at wepeepeditfirst@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Twitter at peep the one and only. And then we also have a joint Twitter account as well, which is We Peeped It First. And then you can hit the Topic Queen up at The Topic Queen on Twitter and Instagram as well. And you can find us on YouTube and SoundCloud. So make sure you're tuning in and, you're listening to us. You're checking us out. We're always open for suggestions. So we just want to make sure we put all that out there before we continue this power conversation.
Definitely hit us up and let us know what you think. Leave comments, suggestions, whatever you're thinking about the podcast, definitely let us know. And welcome back to the Power Hour.
Yes, I'm just about this. Now, back to this whole councilman thing. Me and you actually, we watched the whole last season this past weekend, and what's his name? Stern. Yeah, Stern told him to watch out for this guy. It was like, I didn't really completely trust Stern either, but he warned him about him. And so I just think it's kind of crazy. Now he's dealing with this dude.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But when Stern said it, because we all felt like Stern was such a snake, we didn't know if he was saying to stay away from this guy because he was a black guy, or if he felt like he was going to steal Ghost away and kind of show him what's really behind the curtain. Like, we really didn't know why he was saying that. And as the plot thickens, you start to realize, okay, Stern wasn't being a jerk. He really was trying to look out for Ghost for once. So, and
right.
I don't know. That's just a weird
it's
thing.
A weird dynamic.
It is. So we're going to come back to him, but let's go back to how season 4 ended with Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan in Tommy's car, all basically staking out Dre, and the three of them coming together. How crazy was an ending was that? Like, that, to me, at the ending of that, I was just like, wow, now you've got these three cats that started out together, now back together. How does that even work? How do they trust Kanan?
Oh, my goodness.
How at this point,
man.
And I don't think there's kind of a rift between Tommy and Ghost, too, when it comes to the business thing, because when Ghost first got out of jail, he was trying to basically tell Tommy how to do stuff still, and Tommy's like, you can't have one foot in and one foot out. So I'm really interested to see how that dynamic is going to go, because Tommy's been on some whole other stuff that Ghost doesn't even know about, because Ghost was locked up during some of the stuff that Tommy got himself into. And at the end of that, they drove off to go meet the mob.
Man, yeah.
I don't like it's
like
just
you said,
like
this I don't know, this season is tough because I feel like you don't really know who you can trust. And like you said, Tommy has been doing some off the Richter shit while Ghost has been locked up, and I mean, I don't know. And then that brings up this whole tracker thing. They're back in his car, his muscle car. Is the tracker on? Is the tracker off? Like, what's happening? They're doing all this dirt now, and they're linking up. And now Tommy, you know, is affiliated with the mob because of his father, Tarasi. And I feel like I can't even completely trust that dude. So that's I don't know. It's tough. There's so many different dynamics. Can we fully trust Kanan? Does he have motives? Because I feel like he always has some type of motive.
Right. And in this, like this right now, I feel is the purest that all three of them have been. Maybe because they all have the same enemy. But I feel like right now, Kanan can be trusted to a certain extent because Dre tried to get him killed. And so they're all on the same mission that, you know, when your enemy is my enemy, we link up. Like, enemies have linked up now. And now we need to see what happens going forward. But what I'm scared for is they trust Kanan because in this particular sense of getting Dre back. Because they know now it's going to take some work to go after Dre because him linking up with him and his cartel, the brother and sister. So with that being said, are they going to start letting Kanan run stuff in their business? Like, is Tommy going to put Kanan on? Or is this strictly just a revenge thing and they're going to keep Kanan out of that? Or you don't think even Kanan's going to allow that? Like, do you think he's going to try to find a way to get back into where he can be back in the circle? Or take over completely?
You know what I feel, since Tommy has this affiliation with the mob, I feel like Kanan is not going to be able to pull no sneaky shit like that. Because I feel like with Tommy being affiliated with the mob, he has a lot of motherfuckers who could back him. So I feel like, is Kanan really going to try that shit? I mean, we know Kanan doesn't give a fuck and he's very ballsy. But I feel like with Tommy being affiliated with the mob, I feel like he's not going to be able to get away with some of that sneaky shit.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. Kanan always have an ulterior motive. He always makes a way when there isn't a way. So I'm always really skeptical when he enters the picture. We have seen different instances with Kanan that you're like, oh, he kind of does have a heart. Like the whole thing with...
when he spared
Tariq.
their lives.
Right.
When he spared Ghost and Tyreek's life, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like it's only for certain people because we all witnessed, was that in season 1 or 2 when he fucking killed his son because he thought he was motherfucking soft. There's something about Tyreek that he loves so much. Like, they have some type of click. You know, I almost feel like Tyreek has a better bond with Kanan than he does his own father.
Well, I do agree with that because I think that Ghost and Tasha have not done a good job of sheltering their kids. I think they know what's going on, and the fact that their parents keep lying to them is making the situation worse. And I also think Tariq, for sure, knows that his parents are lying to him, and he just feels like he's old enough to know the truth about what really happened, and he's tired of people lying to him. Raina was at that point, too, because that her last conversation with her mother was like, I'm really sick and tired of you guys lying to me, this, that, and the other. And
exactly.
And Raina overheard her say that Ghost should have killed Kanan. So they know their parents are mixed up in something. So I do think there's going to have to get to a point where they become honest with their children, because I don't think they did as good as a job as they thought they have about sheltering their kids, especially Tariq, because Tariq went to the left real quick. And he wasn't trying to listen to nothing anybody had to say. And it was really convenient that he was doing that at a time that his dad was in jail, which I think was a subliminal.
Yeah.
About black people and what happens when, you come from a good family and the dad gets locked up for something. And maybe he is innocent for whatever it is. And how much that changes the dynamic of a household. I think them showing that in a in-depth level was actually pretty good. I do think that was like a background symbolism, because that was just, he went crazy when his dad was locked up.
Crazy. I think that's an understatement. He done went bonkers. He thinks I guess he's some certified thug now.
Which is crazy.
He done killed somebody.
Right. And I'm like, how are they going to deal with that? Are they going to put him in some type of counseling or something? Because that's crazy.
Let's talk about this. He's supposed to be going off to school. So what's going to happen,
right.
Remember?
That's right, because he was like, I want to go off. Yeah, that's right. So are they going to send him off, or is he going to find a way to stay behind because of everything?
Because he got that letter. He got that letter of recommendation. And the ironic thing about this was Angela went to that school. And when Jamie was on the news and stuff, he was talking about how he didn't have an opportunity to go, and Angela kind of like checked him on it and was like, you could have went. So I think that whole dynamic is kind of like ironic. Like, he wants to go off to Connecticut and go to the same school that she went to. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And things come full circle. So I wonder if Tariq is really going to go, or if he's going to want to stay behind and be closer to his parents. Like, we don't know how him pulling the trigger and killing someone is going to affect him this season. It may put him in a shell, or it may embolden him, and he may become really crazy.
Because now I feel like, I seen a couple of snippets, and he's talking about he wants to be a hustler, and he wants to be in the game, and Ghost is, not having it. He's like, no, you need to have your head on straight. And so I'm like, well, what if they send him off just to cover up things?
They might, but it might get to a point where they may say, you know what, we can't send them away because maybe that'll look too suspicious. I don't know. And then I go on to, who are they going to get to be their lawyer? Like, because we don't know if that guy took Tasha's money and decided to be her lawyer, because he gave her the ultimatum of lover
or lawyer. You have to pick. And I'm like, ain't that about a bitch?
But she handed him a smooth check. Like, brother, you got to save my life. I can think about the dick next time.
It's like, you want to secure the bag?
Right? So
that reminds me of? It's kind of off topic, but I was watching an interview today with Tiffany Haddish and Jada. And she was talking about how she used to be a little video girl, and she was in one of Drake's videos, and she got them digits, and they were supposed to link up or whatever. And she was like, I shaved my mustache. I got me a nice little dress. And Drake hits me with it's a family emergency. So she was like, I missed out on $100K to see what that dick do. So that...
Hey, I'm just saying.
So is it the money or is it the dick? Which one is you take?
It's one or the other.
Which one? Pussy or money?
Decisions.
with
but
that
Tasha,
little
I love you.
With that emoji, with that, the little emoji face with the hand on the face.
Yes, Tasha, I love you.
Puzzled.
So I don't know. That's crazy. So let's get into some of the dynamics of last season that will go into this season. So we start talking about Tasha and this lawyer. Okay, that's
Silver.
one scenario.
Terry Silver, right?
That's Silver. His name? Yes, and I don't know. Like, that whole situation is going to be really interesting how that pans out. If he takes her case, if he doesn't take her case, is Tasha still going to fool with him, or is she just going to cut him off completely? Because at this point.
But at this point, to me, who can you trust?
Well, yeah, that too. But it sounds like she's going to take the rap for Tariq.
And that situation is tough. I mean, you have a conversation like, well, what is she going to say? Like, this was self-defense? This dude was trying to kill my son. And even Angela mentioned, like, this dude was really researching Tariq. He was looking heavy into his profile to the point he showed up to the school. And interrupted classroom and asked Raina, like, have you seen your brother? So it looks suspect on his part, too, even though he was an undercover cop. I feel like it might come back around and they can start to put the puzzle pieces together and be like, well, he was crooked.
True.
And then, we're talking about that and all these killings. Like, what's going to happen with, what was, Kanan's cousin's name? Who he killed?
Jukebox?
Yeah, are they going to mention anything about her? Because she was a cop, too.
And like, when they found missing, and have they found the body?
Yeah.
Because she's been missing, and I don't think anybody did anything with her body. I think they just left her in that house. So when they find her, what's going to happen there?
Yeah, and speaking of bodies, we go back to Tasha, how is she going to plead her case? And we talk about them getting rid of the evidence of the body when Tariq pulled the trigger. They put him in the carpet, but we don't know who took them out and what they did with it. Did somebody see them?
Yeah, that leaves a lot to be desired there, because we know that they rolled him up in the carpet and took him out of there. We know that, but we don't know how that came about. They never really showed that to us. So is it going to come back that someone saw them? Is it going to come back that the body's going to end up showing up somewhere? Like, where is this body? Because it's hard in this day and age to charge somebody with a murder without a body. They know a body was there. They know someone was shot, but they don't. That address, was that even connected to that police officer? Because that was his hideout spot. So I can't imagine that he had that in his own name. So I don't know. It leaves a lot to be. And he was a dirty cop.
And Dre gave Tariq the address, right? He knew where he would be.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. How does Dre know as much as he knows?
This Tony the Tiger wide nose motherfucker, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you.
That guy's got to go. Like, Dre causes a lot of freaking issues. I was ready for him to die last season. The fact that they've kept going on is great. I think that
you need that for a storyline.
Right. I think that the fact that we hate him as much as we do just goes to show you how great of an actor he is and how great of a role they've given him and how they've written that character out. Because there are points, even during this last season, where I was like, okay, Dre's kind of a stand-up dude. Like, he does some grimy stuff, but like him trying to save Tariq and all of that stuff and finding him and bringing him back and all of that. Like, some of that stuff he did was really stand up. But some of the stuff he did was just... he was biting the hand that feed him, whether it's with Kanan, whether it's with Tommy, or Ghost. He's double-crossed each one of them multiple times, whether they know about it or not.
Man.
So there's things that they don't even know about yet. Because even during the last episode of last season, or I don't even say last episode, I would say the last couple episodes of last season, Dre's name kept popping up here and there all over the place. Well, how'd you know that? Well, Dre told me that. How'd you know where to find this guy? Well, Dre told me where to find him. Like, his name...
He's looking real guilty.
Right. So what they're starting to see is that Dre has been playing them since the beginning. He's been playing each one of them to put himself in the position to be the next Ghost, basically. He wants to take over their territory, take over what they've done, and these lackeys, these followers, have followed him. And what ended up happening is The father died. The priest died because he ran his mouth too much. One, and he should have never went following Dre in the first place, because Tommy had a lot more respect for you and wouldn't put you in certain positions, nor kill you, unless he absolutely have to. But now you've put yourself in the position where you let this man kill you because you ran your mouth.
Right. That's nuts.
So I don't know about that.
You know, I've been heated about Dre since the whole Julio. When I rewatched that, I was just so infuriated. Like, this was ridiculous. I was so pissed.
It was ridiculous.
I'm like, Julio, come on. You are smarter than this. What are you doing, letting this fool punk you?
And that's what the thing that really bothered me about the way Julio went, was that for Julio to have been in the streets as long as he had been in the streets, how in the hell did he get Dre to play him like that? Like, how do you have so much trust in this guy? Why didn't he ever follow his gut when it came to Dre? Because he always had some suspicion that Dre wasn't telling him the truth. Same thing with Tommy. Tommy had a couple of confrontations with Dre where he could feel that Dre wasn't telling him the truth. And he would never just go the full length and put this fool in his place. None of them did. And Julio really pissed me off, because I'm like, for you to be in the streets for as long as you were in the streets, how did you let this motherfucker play you so hard?
Exactly, and Dre knew it, and he used it to his advantage, which is why in the very last episode he was like, they think I'm soft, they think I'm some type of punk, but he says there is advantages to being disadvantaged. And I'm like, shit, I don't fucking like you, but isn't that the motherfucking truth? You know, and I think of when people try to take your kindness for weakness but don't really know what you're capable of, and that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what it is. I mean, being underestimated. That's all it is. I mean, people really underestimated him, and all the time he was making chess moves, and nobody's paying attention because they don't think that he has the wherewithal to really put things together the way he did. You know, Tommy didn't think that his people would turn on him the way that he did. You know what I mean? So there's just certain things that had happened that you're like, okay, these guys have been working with Tommy and Ghost for a long time. How dare they switch up on them and just start going with whatever Dre says, because now he's the distributor. I don't know. That whole thing to me was crazy. Like, Julio dying the way that he did and those people just following behind him. I just find that really crazy that this kid has as much power as he has as quickly as he's gotten it. He basically got all that power in a season.
Yes, that's nuts. All because and the crazy thing too is, and the reason he started acting the way he was acting was because of Kanan and owing Kanan money. And because remember how scary he was in the previous episodes and seasons, and he was, you know, Kanan would always threaten him about his daughter, and he was concerned about getting him his money. Now he's then plotted out some whole other plan. Like, he has it all motherfucking figured out now. Before, it was just about getting Kanan some money. Now he's like, no, I want to be the biggest drug dealer in New York City. He want to be a ghost.
Basically, that's what he wants. I mean, even with the taking over the club and all of that, like, I wonder how he feels like that's going to work out for him. That's Ghost's club. So what, you think you're still going to work there and sell your drugs in that club? Like, I understand. I want to know how that goes. Like, how's that going to work? How is it going to work? Because now, Dre knows this. Dre knows that they know. Because if Tommy knows, he has to figure that Ghost knows now. That he's been doing the things that he's been doing. So, how is your whole thing going through the clubs going to work? Is like, how are they going to go about that? Because they've been selling their drugs through those clubs, and that's part of his deal.
I don't know, but you remember, nobody's fucking with Tommy anymore, and Dre said it himself. He said, I got myself fired. So how the hell is he gonna be working at the club anymore? That I don't see how that's gonna work out. And then it's weird because he was hanging out with Ghost and the councilman. And when's the last time Ghost has talked to Dre since that moment?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's the thing that is the hanging fruit is, does Dre just think Tommy's onto him and think that Ghost is wrapped up in what he's wrapped up in because his daughter just passed away and all of that? Does Dre know that? Does Dre know that Raina passed away?
Yeah, he did, because I think he remember when Tyreek rolled up on him with his mom's gun?
Oh, yes. Okay.
And he was
so
like,
he
I'm sorry about your loss. I'm sorry about your sister.
So I don't know. I just wonder how that's all going to play out. Like, does he think Ghost is so far gone trying to figure out who killed his daughter that he's not really in the know of what's been going on in the other business? Because technically, Ghost isn't supposed to know that Dre is doing anything with the other business because he asked Dre to stay out of that and just do club stuff. Ghost doesn't know that Dre's been selling drugs through his club before he was locked up. So, right. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then him killing Father Callahan the way that he did and leaving him on the bench.
That was fucked up.
Someone's going to find Father Callahan on the bench, and that's going to be a body. Who's going
to explain that? Yeah, so speaking of bodies, let me just say there's a whole lot of bodies that had just been left. And the feds is going to be like, who's tied to this? Just think about it. Tommy, he rolled up on his mother because he was pissed at his mother because she didn't tell him that Tarasi was really his father. And so he decided to make a pit stop in Cleveland and beat the fuck out of Holly's uncle for fucking around on her when she was younger. And he like cracked his skull open and just left the body there. Ghost rolled up on the head of, what was the name of that gang? Toro something?
Locos Toros?
Yeah.
Locos?
Fuck that dude up. They left the body there.
Yeah.
Just fucking people up left or right. That too. And before they linked up with Kanan, they were rolling around in Tommy's car with the tracker on it.
Yeah, or even the bodies that Kanan came back with. Remember, he came back into the city.
Yeah, because Dre set him up.
With a body full of people, so those bodies, and then we have the guy that Tommy killed. The guy that was I can't remember his name. The guy that was advocating for Greg, saying that Greg wasn't with the recording in Proctor's house. What happened to that body?
Oh, speaking of Mr. Proctor here, you know, I don't know. I have a few predictions about that. What the hell is he doing with this laptop? Is he going to flip on Tommy and Ghost? What is his so-called master plan? I feel like if they find out about this, he's gonna get motherfucking clipped without hesitation.
Well, yeah, because he's been lying to them this entire time. And then your next thing is, what was your motive for doing that? And like, that's gonna come back somehow, some way. But he even told Ghost, we're in this together whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
so what are you holding on to that laptop for? Because they got as much dirt on you as you on them, and you're an officer of the court, so your life is going to be forever changed as well. And your ex-wife can attest to that because you've been coking her up for forever.
Speaking of that, me and the Topic Queen put a poll out on our Twitter at we Peeped It first, and we wanted to know who did people think were going to get written off, who was going to get the boot first out of Tommy, Ghost, or Proctor, and it was 100% Proctor. People are like, this fool has to get written off. Like, what the fuck are you doing with this laptop? Like, I want to know. Like, that, I'm itching to know. That is bothering me. That's been bothering me since I knew he still had this laptop. Yeah, that laptop is a big piece to a lot of puzzles, and that can implicate both Ghost and Tommy. So I think that's going to be a little bit crazy. And they can also use that as a motive to why they kill Greg. Even though they didn't kill Greg. Who did kill Greg? Now I'm forgetting who killed Greg. Oh, Sandoval. Well, Mr. Sandoval.
Sandoval killed Greg.
Sandoval he's dead too. And the feds were pissed about that because that was how they could get information about Ghost, because Sandoval, he didn't know. This crazy thing is Sandoval didn't even know who Ghost or Tommy were. Like, he probably knew about them, but he didn't realize the whole time this motherfucker is trying to prosecute them. He's the one who's killed Greg. And little does he know that at one point y'all was all motherfucking working with Lobos.
Now that is what's really crazy. And yeah, so what do you think is going to happen with Tasha and Lakeisha's relationship? Because last season it ended with basically Tasha looking like she was going to tell Lakeisha everything that's been going on. So
right.
do you think that Lakeisha's going to be the ride or die friend and be there for her friend, or is she going to be like, you know what, bitch, this is too much for me. I'm packing up me and my son and we're out of here.
Well, you know what? I just seen a recent, a little sneak peek, and it was a scene of the upcoming Power season, and it was a scene of Lakeisha and Tasha. But before I get into that, you know what? Lakeisha has every right to be fucking pissed at them because she didn't ask for this shit. They decided that they were gonna have drugs all up in her shop, and she wasn't gonna know anything about it. So she has every right to be pissed.
And did you see how desperate Tommy looked when he hunted her down? I think it was the second to the last episode on Power of last season, where he, like when Tasha was telling him that she was going, I'm going to get out. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go completely legit. He's like, okay, I'm on my own. And then he like pulls over and sees Lakeisha walking, and he looks desperate as hell.
Desperate as hell on that motherfucking crack. She was like, motherfucker, I ain't built like this. I was like, I heard that. Who the fuck?
I was really glad she stood up for herself and curved him.
Who the fuck you think I am? She was like, I ain't built like that, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm really glad she curved him because he deserved every bit of that. Like, your desperateness was coming through it was seeping through your skin. It was quite disgusting to see Tommy that way, because Tommy actually is one of my favorite characters on this show. As crazy as he is, I really like his character. I'm rooting for Tommy to go crazy sometimes. Like, one of my favorite scenes from last year is when he ran over that guy with his own car, and how like
that shit was
like,
nuts.
It was insanely crazy, but it was one of the best scenes from last season to me. Like,
I mean, and Courtney. Is it Courtney Kemp, one of the writers, producers? She even talked about that. I think that was one of her favorite scenes. Because it's like, this is what he does for a living. This is his job. And he enjoyed it.
Like, you're looking to not like Tommy because he's really a psychopath. But it's hard not to love that guy. And it's hard to, like, not root for him. It's not hard to not root for him to kill somebody or go apeshit on somebody. Like, was anybody really mad when he beat the shit out of the uncle?
Right. And the one thing too that I love about the whole Ghost and Tommy, like their friendship, that whole dynamic, is like when one of them is not thinking right, they're there to like wake each other up. Like when Ghost be on that other shit, Tommy be like, what the fuck? Use your brain. And then same when Tommy ain't acting right. Ghost is like, what the fuck, Tommy?
Right.
Like, what is going on?
I think they are each other's yin to each other's yang, for sure. Like, they need each other more than I think Ghost or Tommy is willing to admit. Like, they lean on each other for a lot of things. It's not a coincidence that they've been partners for as long as they've been partners.
They're real life brothers.
Right. They've been through a lot. So, I mean, he's godfather to his children. So, you know what I mean? This is not some fly-by-night relationship, friendship. They're really good friends. And so there's a lot of history there. I am excited about Kanan being on this season and being with them, because I think we're going to be able... Hopefully, we'll be able to get a little bit of history on their relationship before it went sour and Kanan went to jail and all of that. Like, I really hope they give us a little bit of tidbit of what it was like them working together when they were younger. I hope we get to see a little bit of that. So with this season,
before we move on, let's get back to the Lakeisha and Tasha before we move on. But I watched a little clip, and it looked like Tasha was like gonna confess to Lakeisha that I have something to tell you, and she's like, you have to promise if anybody comes to you, you can't fucking tell. And she's like, what is it? Like, she's like, what's going on with Tyreek? So I feel like that could possibly be like one of the very first scenes when they open up the season 5 of Power. I feel like it could, but she's like, tell me this tomorrow. So I don't know. It's hard because Tasha has her reservations about even telling Lakeisha shit. Because remember, she was like, she might open her mouth, which is why when Tasha found out that Tommy was fucking with her, she's like, you're going to have to pretty much continue this act on, because I don't want her opening her mouth. It was kind of like they were doing each other a favor. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she, at this point, like, she has to be all in too. Because if she, if they come to her, it's going to be all hell for her.
Well, I think she has to kind of be all in because of the position that they've put her in. she doesn't have the liberty anymore to just pack up and go, because that'll be too suspicious.
She doesn't have a choice.
Right. Especially with them laundering money in her shop and like them, all of that. Like,
she doesn't have a choice. And if she was to take a plea deal, they would kill her. Like, she doesn't have a motherfucking choice.
Right.
Like,
and I honestly think too that Milan wanted Lakeisha dead. Do you think that that's going to end up coming back with him dealing with those Russians? If they find
it might, but remember Tommy's working with Chicago now, and Chicago had some type of affiliation with Milan. And remember, dude was like, well, Milan was on his way out.
Well, yeah, see, but the thing is, what Milan was their person in that region, and now Tommy's taken over that. So I'm just thinking, did Milan make that decision on his own that he wanted Lakeisha gone, or did he report that up?
No, I think Milan wanted Keisha gone.
Okay, because a lot of Chicago knows a lot.
They do.
That's why I'm like,
it's scary too, because now with Dre fucking setting the warehouse on fire, and Tommy's like, I need more time, and they don't trust Tommy. Like, the dude, like Chicago dude said, he was like, I should have fucking killed him with Patar, whatever the dude's name was.
Yeah, because these Russians ain't playing about their money. And so it's going to be one of those things where they're end up going to go to war with the Russians, or something's crazy is going to happen, or Tommy's going to get them their money. Because remember, Tommy's told Ghost, I need you to give me all my money from the stuff that you stole, this, that, and the other. And didn't Ghost write him a check?
Yeah, he was like, I need you to give me all the clean money that you and who else did he say owed him money?
Him and Kanan, not clean money. He said, I need you to give me all the money that you owe me, even the money that you and Kanan stole from his stash house. I think that's the money that he was going to use to pay off the Russians.
Oh, that's right. Because they did roll up and he robbed his own farm. Yep, exactly right. But yeah, he was like, all the clean money. And that's another thing. I remember at one point in the season, they had to they were like stashing stuff at what did Tommy and Ghost own? Was it the laundromat?
Wash and fold?
Or the wash and fold? Yeah. So, I remember they had to take everything out of there, but just like, well, what's going on with that business? They still technically own that business. Are they not making any money off that business anymore?
They have a few legitimate businesses, but the wash and fold is the one I heard about the most. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the wash and fold is still in play, but I don't think it's the focal point of the story right now, so we don't hear much about it. But I do wonder if that's going to circle back, and if the wash and fold is going to become an integral piece of the story, because that's kind of where everything started in the beginning. Is that's what we saw was a wash and fold. That's where they were picking up stuff and dropping things off and all of that. So I don't know. That should be interesting. It should be interesting how they bring the entire story together on that. But the Lakeisha and Tasha thing, I'm really interested to see how that goes. I really want to see what happens between Tasha and her lawyer. I do want to know what goes on with Proctor and how he's gonna survive this season, if he survives this season. I don't know. Do you think a major character is going to go this season? Like, do you think a Kanan or a Ghost or a Tommy is no longer going to be a part of the story?
That's interesting that you say that. So I'm actually looking on social media, and we actually had somebody who responded to us, and they gave us their prediction. So I actually want to read their prediction to see what they think might happen. So shout out to Unicorn 2turn_Tiff if you're listening. She's on Twitter, y'all. She said that she thinks Proctor is a weak target, but she also said Tommy just getting started with them Syrians, and Ghost gotta go crazy for his daughter. Eventually, I would like to see Ghost gone, but that's just me and my wicked twist on shit. And I was like, That's
the major character doesn't make it. That would be interesting. I mean,
I don't know how I would feel about that.
If Ghost, like, I'll put it this way. I don't think Ghost is going this season. But I would not be surprised when they end the series that Ghost is no longer. And whatever that means. Whether that means he completely ditches his whole persona as Ghost and goes completely legit, or Ghost in the physical is no longer here because he got himself into something he couldn't get himself out of and he dies, or he gets locked up because people really start to figure out who he is. Now, I wonder, because of who he's dealing with, if the way that Ghost comes down is being legit and trying to get in with these politicians instead of the drug game. Wouldn't that be interesting? That if the way Dre gets locked up at the end of everything all being over is being in cahoots with that damn politician and Stern, and they all get locked up for some type of wire fraud or some type of white collar crime, because he was trying so hard to get himself out of this business, not realizing that politics is just as dirty and just as nasty.
Right.
Like, I honestly feel like that might be a way it might go. That, like, it's a double-edged sword for him. Like, he did all this, got himself in all these different positions because he was trying to get out, to only get wrapped up into some more shit that eventually gets him locked up.
That's an interesting take.
I just was thinking about that in the long run. Like, what if Ghost does get to a point where he finally gets himself out and he starts to just be strictly legit? He's dealing with some shady characters already who are supposedly legit. How does that work out for him in the long run?
Right.
Because you don't think that this politician and not Proctor, Stern wouldn't sell Ghost up the river as a shady businessman before they would take a fall? He's a perfect scapegoat. He doesn't know anything. So there's things that they could do behind the scenes that he wouldn't really know about until after the fact, that they could totally pin on him, and because he's the face of this whole project that they're doing.
Right.
I don't know. That was just me and my mind going in crazy places, but I just felt like that would be really ironic that this guy spent the last 4 to 5 seasons trying to get himself to be legit, only to be taken down by legit forces.
That's crazy. And on the trailer that I just watched, Ghost said, I'm trying to be legit. After we finish Dre off, I need to be legit. And it's funny, every time he tries to be legit, something else piles up on his plate. Constant targets on his back.
Because gangsters and drug dealers don't retire. Have you ever heard of a drug dealer that retires? Like, they don't retire. And they don't retire because they keep getting pulled back in one way or another. The only way he wasn't going to get pulled back into some stuff is if he moved out of the state. And even then, I think that people would still track him down and try to pull him in, or whatever the case may be. Like, they're too big of a force for them to let him go. And Tommy now it got himself in a situation I think it's going to be really hard for him to get out. And the only thing that he has in his pocket right now that is like a wild card is the mob. But the mob's going to want something in return. You're not going to just get them for nothing.
Right. Speaking of that, he's like, because remembering Ghost was like, well, what did he want when they put the hit out on Sandoval? Right. And he was like, nothing. They're family. But like I said, I don't trust this whole mob situation. Like, I don't trust Taurasi, because remember when Ghost, and that's another thing we didn't talk about. Remember when Ghost fucked up the guard that was just abusing him in prison?
Charlie Murphy.
He fucking killed. Yes, Charlie Murphy. He killed this motherfucker. And Taurasi set that whole thing up. Taurasi is one smart motherfucker, let me say. He set that whole thing up because once Ghost got wind of who he was and what he was capable of doing and the murders that he was responsible for, Ghost was like, I'm not going to be sending your ass no more money. But Taurasi had a motherfucking master plan. He set Ghost up for him and Charlie Murphy to fight, but I think he knew once he found out that, like, okay, Ghost is not playing any games, and once he got Ghost all riled up, Ghost killed this motherfucker, and he was like, change of plans. I know how I'm gonna flip this shit just so I can get access to Tommy.
Right. I think, well, and even Tommy's mother, Kate, said that, like, he's no good. He wants something else. He's not telling you there's something else that he wants from you. And the mob doesn't just do favors just to do favors. He does want something in return. And I guarantee you that money's still going to keep going to his wife, because I just think that's the way that it is, especially with Tommy not really being in good standing with his mom and him not having that father figure. He may feel like, okay, if that's what my dad wants, I'm going to do, because he's done me all these solids. You know what I'm saying?
No, Tommy, use your fucking head. I'm so mad that Tommy got hooked on fucking crack and shit again. Was not fucking thinking. Should have left that car where it was. Like, I'm so fucking upset about that.
That
like,
car
damn.
with the tracker is going to give them a world of trouble. Like, and because if they use Tommy's car to dump that police officer's body, then they'll know where that body is. Like, there's a lot of things that Tommy is connected to. When they went and killed the dudes from the Toros Locos, like, Tommy's car has been freaking... At the last murders that happened towards the end of that season that Tommy was involved in or took someone to, they will know where everything happens. So if they look at Tommy's tracker and they've gotten called on the scene for some murders, they're going to have an idea who was there and what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that's going to be the nail in Tommy's coffin if they get that tracker information.
And right. And he told his mother, I don't want to fucking talk to you ever again. And, it's really going to be interesting to see, what type of role she plays this season. Are the feds going to come after her? Are they going to come questioning her? What is really going to transpire?
Yeah, you got a good point. I don't know. This season, that's
this season has so many pieces.
It has
this
so
shit is
many
crazy.
Storylines, and some of these storylines have got to come to a close or move, or move forward in the story. Like Tommy and his dad, that story has to play out this season, and what the mob is going to get for all these things that Tommy has asked for.
I can tell you easily all the characters who I feel like are just going to get the boot, like right off the bat, like in a finger snap, is everybody who turned on Tommy. All them motherfuckers who turned on Tommy and want to team up with Dre, gone easily.
I could see that. I definitely could see that because once he finds out that they killed, like, I'm telling you, Father Callahan's body being found on that bench is going to be bodies are going to show up everywhere this season. I think that's how the season is going to start.
And Dre,
with them getting calls about bodies being all over the season, all over the city, and Dre's responsible for some of those bodies. And
Dre didn't even tell his homeboy Diego. All he said was like, Father, he dropped out for other reasons. The reason was because you fucking killed this motherfucker.
Right. None of them know that Father is dead except for him. So I'm just saying, like, that's going to cause an uproar. Like, you can't kill a priest and don't think that something bad's not going to happen. Like, he's selling that dope to somebody.
But the thing, too, that, like, I loved about the priest, like, he was, I don't know, I felt like he was so fucking innocent.
In a way, like, he was, but in a way,
like,
he wasn't.
Yeah, he was, but he wasn't. Like, because we know, obviously, that's not innocent. But at the same time, like, he wasn't trying to, like he said, he wasn't trying to be a part of no war and get involved in no funky shit. Like, he was like, look, I'm just trying to do this shit to supplement my little income.
Right, because I'm trying to get this for to help the poor. Like, that's what he was using the money for, is to help in the community as much as he could for the impoverished.
I was like, why y'all gotta do the priest like that? Leave him alone.
Right, like, why'd the priest have to die? Like, out of all of those fools that were in that group, why'd the priest have to die? Why couldn't the black dude with the funky glasses die? Or one of those guys from the Hispanic gang die? What was his name? The one that Tommy ended up killing, and he had the button on him that recorded the conversation. Ruiz. Yeah. His secondhand man. Why couldn't he go? Like, you know what I mean? There were so many. Why the priest?
And speaking of all these bodies, so remember, Raymond, he shot those two dudes that were hitting the licks with Tariq. They gonna end up finding those bodies too, so they could connect and be like, oh, he was fucking crooked. Why the hell he killed them? But then that all ties back to Ghost some type of way, because Tariq was fucking around with them.
Right. Those were his friends. But you could also play the angle that they were cops and they made me do it.
True. And then he actually met them from Canaan.
Right. Who he thought was Slim.
Yes, Slim.
He didn't find out who Canaan was until it was like too late.
I think it's so funny that he was calling himself Slim.
I don't know. 50 is
Slim Shady,
mind-boggling within himself. That guy is crazy pants.
Literally, this motherfucker just reminds me of Slim Shady. This motherfucker is shady as fuck.
He is. He's super shady, and you really don't know what you're gonna get when it comes to Kanan. That's the thing. He is a wild card.
I feel like 52. He be going off cut. I'm like, motherfucker, you know damn well you didn't fucking write these lines. All of this shit ain't scripted. Fucking improvising as fuck.
Yeah, I think Keenan's character plays close to home for 50 Cent. Like, I don't think that he has to stretch his imagination too far to play this character. I feel like it's in him. They picked the perfect role for him. I'm glad the way they introduced Kanan too, because I'm glad that 50 Cent wasn't like one of the main characters when we first started watching this show. He kind of, entered into the picture. When did Kanan come into the picture? Was it season 1 or season 2?
I think it was the end of, I want to say it was the end of season 1, right? Because that's when Sean went to go pick him up from jail, and he was like, don't tell Ghost about this.
And that's when we found out that the pink girl in the pink tennis shoes was hired by him.
Yeah, we found out that 50 was putting out all these hits on motherfuckers. Yep.
Right. So, yeah, Kanan is a wild card. I'm definitely glad this time that it's he's on the Tommy and Ghost side instead of being opposite of them.
Shit, because, yeah, you don't want to be on the other side.
Yeah, and I think that Tommy and Ghost and Kanan being together, especially in the beginning of this season starting, like, I just really hope that they don't take all fucking season to kill Dre. This nigga better not be alive 6th season. Sixth season.
And we need to find the dude who made that video about Julio dying. He was so pissed. And he was like, Julio!
Oh, that was...
Man, whoever you are, please reach out to us, because that was hilarious. I'm going to be looking forward to your videos this season. Fans are ready, getting prepared for this season. Fans are crazy when it comes to Power, including us.
And you know what's great about Power? Power, I feel like, is the only TV show that will have grown-ass people stay home on a Saturday night waiting for Power to come on.
Fuck the club. The pregame is at the house tonight. It's going down at midnight.
Ain't nobody got time for nothing else.
Ain't nobody... shit. I'm telling you, when that first episode hits, up until the very last episode, ain't nobody going out on Saturday night. The club is at home. The club is at your partner's house. Wherever y'all watch Power, that's where it's motherfucking cracking.
Yeah, because I bet you the club is mad that Power's coming back. In the middle of the goddamn summer, you goddamn right. Saturdays are off.
That's why you host Power parties. And speaking of that, we have something lined up. We won't tell you yet, but have your ears open, because we want to plan something special for Power, because we are big Power fans.
Series. So we want to let you guys know that we will probably be doing something on Power every week that Power is on, because we definitely, I know
we're maniacs.
Every fan that watches this show turns off that show and has a conversation with people about what the hell just happened in this last episode. What do you think is going to happen next? Like, you can't go on any social media and they're not talking about Power in some kind of capacity. So I will tell everybody, if you do not watch this show by Sunday, do not listen to our podcast, because there are going to be spoilers all over it. We are discussing the last episode. So if you're one of those people that take 50 years to finally watch an episode, don't listen to our podcast until you've watched the episode.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not doing disclaimers on every Power episode. Like, it's Power. It's coming. We're going to cover it. We're really big on watching it at midnight on Saturday, so we are not going to skip a beat. So I'm just...
Because, look, I'm telling you, by Sunday morning, afternoon, we're probably watching it. We're probably on our 3rd, 4th go-around.
Right. Just to get ready to drop our podcast and let you guys know what we thought.
Because I'm telling you, when I be watching that shit at midnight, I be hitting the Topic Queen's phone like, bitch.
Did you see? Oh my God. What's going to happen next? I can't believe, like, it's just one of those shows that just is insane.
This show gets people in their feelings.
It really does. Another show that we're going to be detailing, just like we're doing Power, is Insecure. But we'll talk about that as we get closer to August and that comes back on the air. But honestly, guys,
Issa, hit us up.
Let us know what you think is going to happen in this next episode of Power.
Oh,
Season 5 episode 1, you know how they left off with Tommy, Keenan, and Ghost in the car together, peeping out Dre, seeing that he's with the Jimenez cartel. It's going to take planning, and it's going to take patience to finally get Dre out of the picture. How long do you guys think it's going to take to get Dre out of the picture? Do you think it's going to take all season? Do you think it's going to happen immediately? How many bodies are going to have to drop before they get to Dre?
Shoot, it's going to be a suspense. It's going to be a motherfucking thriller. They not just going to get rid of Dre like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't die this season, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised either, even though I want it to happen really bad.
Yeah,
we have that storyline. We have Tommy and his dad in the mob storyline. We've got what's going to happen with Tommy and the Russians. What's going to happen with Ghost and Tommy and the Jimenez cartel. What's going to happen with Tariq now that he's killed somebody and he's supposed to be going off to this other school? Is he going to go, or is he going to be like Thug Life now? Lakeisha, what's Lakeisha going to do? Is she going to say this is too much for her and exit stage left, or is she going to get ride or die and stick it out, or is she going to get back with Tommy or give him another opportunity, or is Tommy going to show her something different? I don't really think Tommy's in the position to love someone right now, but you never know.
What about Miss Angela? We didn't really talk about
Angela.
Let's talk
about Angela because Angela is a piece of shit to me. But
can we please get into this bitch's ass? Because let me just say, we got to get on her head. Like, I don't know. I swear to God, if she tries to pin this shit on Tasha, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Because in a way, she kind of fucking helped.
Well, I don't think, from watching the official trailer, it looks like she's helping them cover it up, is what it sounds like. Because she says, I'm going from whatever her title is to covering up a murder. So we don't know what murder that is. Oh,
shit. I'm sorry, y'all.
She does say that in the power clip that I just watched before we got on the air today. So I don't, because she knows this guy's a dirty cop, so...
Look, we also have to talk about this. I'm sorry, y'all, but we did not talk about this, and this shit is like a very important piece of power. So, if y'all have forgotten some stuff, I suggest y'all catch up now, so you can be on track when season 5 gets here. Old girl from the very, very first season, Ghost killed her boyfriend.
Oh.
She's came to the feds to let them know that she recognized his voice. Remember, Ghost, she was blindfolded, but Ghost told her, like, never speak of this day. So she doesn't know I think she knows what it looks like now because she recognized his voice. But then she didn't know what he looked like. And who are they going to pin that murder on? Because Ghost just shot him and then told Tommy and them to get rid of the body. But she is opening up to the feds about this. So what's going to happen with that? Because they're like, we want to leave St. Patrick alone, but are they going to entertain this?
Well, the black lady was willing to listen. Angela's boss was willing to listen to what the girl had to say. So is she going to give them enough for them to... I don't think they're going to go after Ghost. I think what they're going to do is use that as a leverage to go after Tommy. And if they get Ghost in the long run, they will. Because the first case they had with Ghost, with this whole killing Greg thing, it made them look really crazy. It did. It made them look insane. And then to have Angela stand up and basically throw herself in front of a bus because it was just misconduct going on. They really can't afford to go after the man of the year right now. That's who everybody thinks this man is. That he was innocent. They locked him up. They shouldn't have. And now he's out here doing great things for his community. Leave this man alone. They're going to have a mountain of evidence to take down Ghost. And it can't be circumstantial.
You know, Sachs is not going to stop. And they'll do whatever they can, especially since Angela was fucking on company hours.
Yeah, I don't know. That bitch Angela, there's a part of me that feels like a little of her is going to go to the dark side. Like, I don't know if she'll do the complete flip over, but she's going to do some questionable shit that's going to question her integrity as an ADA USA or whatever the hell their title is.
Valdez. Was it Valdez?
Yeah. Angela
yes.
Valdez.
All I want to say is Ghost and Angela, please don't get back together. Don't do it.
Well, it looks like Ghost tries it.
Why, motherfucker? Why?
Looks like he tried. I mean, he really loves that girl. I think that him and Tasha are done. Like, Tasha is kind of over it now. She's moved on. I don't really see them getting back together.
She's moved on, but shit, a lot of stuff is about to pop off. That could change how she feels about him.
Well, because they're going to need each other. They're going to need each other now more than ever need each other before. Like, this is a situation where they're all implicated. No one can walk away and be like, fuck you, because they all need each other right now. So I do think there's going to be a sense of closeness that they're going to have. But I also think that Tasha is tired of Ghost's shit too. Like, Ghost was on his shit for a minute there, where he was doing a lot of things that Tommy and Tasha and all these people told him. Like, even Proctor was telling him, like, this bitch that you're dating is going to get you in a world of trouble. And he was willing to risk it all for Angela. Literally.
Yeah.
Risk it all for this girl. So I see him trying to get back with her. I don't know how perceptive she's going to be too, because I know she loves Jamie. But I don't know, bro. That whole situation between her and him is just a hot ass mess at this point. And I don't think of Angela, if she is thinking about keeping her career, can be linked up to Ghost in any way, shape, or form. Like, they cannot have a relationship.
And one more person I want to talk about. What is Asian dude's name? He's
Mock?
Mock. No, it's Mock, I believe. I feel like he's going to plot some type of revenge, because remember, he thought he was going to get promoted, and she was like, psych, Angela, the promotion is going to you. He felt some type of way about that. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing some type of shady shit.
Well, I can see him linking up with the other guy that has it in for Tommy. Because he's hell-bent on Sax. He's hell-bent on getting Angela wrapped up into that, too. Like, you're going to go down for it, too. Like, they all feel like she knows more than what she's saying. And in some cases, she does. But in a lot of cases, she doesn't know the ins and outs of what was going on in Ghost's business outside of the club. Like, she just knows what she knows about growing up with them and things like that. She has an inkling, she has an idea, but she wasn't in on everything that they were doing as far as their underworld life. So the things that they're trying to, like, connect her to, I think are really funny. And I do think that they're going to get close enough to her to make her sweat, but I don't think that they're smart enough to bring it all the way home. And they're both some smug bastards, especially that Mock guy. So I don't want him to win anything. Even though I don't really care for Angela, I really don't like him. So I'm going to root for her in that situation when it comes to both of those douchebags.
And also, we were talking about Proctor earlier, and we were talking about all these bodies all over the motherfucking city. Well, remember the federal agent who had the recording of Tommy killing Ruiz? Tommy showed up in the middle of those two having a conversation. Do we remember that federal agent's name? Anyways, Tommy shows up in the middle of them having a conversation and stabs dude. And the body, this was at Proctor's apartment. And they're looking for this dude. They're like, he's missing. The last place we tracked his cell was at Proctor's apartment. So that situation as well.
That is a situation where, and what they're going to do is they're going to need to prove it. And then I think a way they're going to be able to look at it is to pull the cameras around his area, because he lives in a high rise. So, there's camera and doormen everywhere. Somebody saw something. Someone saw that man go in there and never come back out.
And that's nuts. And I'm hoping Tommy was motherfucking disguised.
or he came in there without anybody really seeing him because he didn't want to know who was me. I don't know.
Well, that's true, because remember when he initially called Proctor, or Proctor was on the phone with him, he was like, no pun intended, but I don't want to be seen with you in public.
Right. So I think that may be it. Like, there may have been, he pinged off of there, but did anybody see him come in or out? Because they know how to move stealthily, so... And did Tommy even get seen in the building? Did Tommy come to the front door? Did he come to... You know what I mean? Because Tommy just kind of appeared, I believe, in that scene when it came up. Because, they were waiting on Tommy. So, I don't know. I don't know. That whole... There's a lot of bodies. Even Holly's body hasn't been found.
I don't think they're going to find that. I think...
You never know, because... The only reason why I say that is you never know, because all the development that they're trying to do in that city...
Well, Tommy chopped her ass up in pieces.
But he buried her somewhere because he went back and got the ring.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He buried her, and then he was going to visit where he buried her, like, every night. And then one night he took the ring off of her finger, but left her body there. I don't remember her chopping her up.
I thought he did. I don't know.
He may have, but I don't remember him doing it. I do remember him going and visiting where she was and then going back and digging up that ring. And that's why he has that ring around his chain now. But her body hasn't been found. Holly just has gone missing. No one's looking for her, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. No one. Jukebox is in an abandoned house somewhere that I don't even know if anybody's going to eventually find her.
And whatever happened to Tasha's mama?
Oh, Tasha's mama. They showed she was in the last season, last episode when Raina passed away and they had her funeral. They showed her there, but she didn't say much.
Oh, well, they didn't have. That's another. They didn't have the funeral yet. We're gonna see the funeral on season 5.
Yep, and Ghost was strong armed to have the funeral where he's having it, and it's going to be a whole publicity thing instead of him being able to grieve in private because of that councilman.
That's gonna be a shit fest.
So there's a lot, like I said, there's so many stories that need to be caught up with. I really am interested to see where they start. I honestly feel like they got to start this next season off with a bang. And what better bang would there be to get Dre smooth the fuck up out of here? Although I don't think that's going to happen. That plot is too thick for him to go the first episode.
It's too juicy. He's just getting started.
Right. He's just starting to make moves, and now he's got the Jimenez cartel behind him, and all of the people that Tommy relied on are on his side now too.
And there's a couple characters, I'm just not going to say, but there's a couple characters that we saw here and there, and you're like, whatever happened to them, that are going to reappear.
Yes. For sure. And Proctor in that damn laptop make me nervous. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, but now I used to trust Proctor and not think twice about him, but now I do not trust that little weasel. And I don't know what he plans on doing with that laptop, but I'm hoping that Ghost or somebody, like, catches him going to it or something and gets to it before he's able to turn it in or whatever the case may be. I don't even know what he could possibly do. I mean, maybe leverage for a deal so he doesn't spend that much time in jail. If I can give you Tommy and Ghost, will you let me go free? That might happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many pieces. And speaking of Amari, this is kind of off topic, but I don't know if y'all watched the BET Awards the other night, but he was looking like a snack. Oh my goodness. Getting ready for the promos, promoting this show.
Well, you know, Ghost is a looker.
He was looking like a snack.
It's really great that they put him as the lead because I think that drew a lot of women in. Like,
yes.
Who's this fine brother? Because I don't think a lot of people even knew who Omari was before Power came around. So, I don't know. Omari is definitely.
Let me calm down.
Seriously, yeah. You over there, splash you with some water.
Having heat flashes.
Right? Get you a fan over there, girl.
The fan is on.
Ooh, it's hot.
Hot in here. Shout out to Nelly. Word to Nelly.
Word to Nelly. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, this season is about to be real fucking
Yeah, people gonna be taking off their clothes, all right. I wonder how, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of sex this season because there's just too much drama that needs to be ironed out before people.
They're like, look, sex is gonna have to motherfucking wait. This is business.
Like, I feel like shit is way too thick right now for anybody to be thinking about no dick or pussy. But I could
although
be wrong.
Kanan might get some sessions in.
Yeah, you know what? Before we go, we have got to figure out what the fuck is the dynamic between Tasha and Kanan. Why is she so petrified of this man?
Because, okay, so I have to put this out there and kind of clear the air. Before, everybody had all these rumors or whatever the fuck you want to call them on social media talking about Tyreek, that's really Kanan's son. But remember, Raina and Tyreek are twins. So if y'all are saying that that's his son, then both of those kids have to be his, if that's what y'all really thinking. Because that can't be possible.
No, actually, that can be possible. You can be pregnant by 2 different men at the same time. I asked a nurse and a doctor, and that can happen.
You asked who?
I asked a licensed nurse and a licensed doctor if that can happen. And yes, you can. You can be inseminated by 2 different men and get pregnant at the same time and have 2 different people's babies. That can absolutely happen.
But no, they're twins, though.
That doesn't matter. There's fraternal twins.
No, but that's not how they were making it out to be, though. I don't know.
But no one really knows that. No one really knows if there really are twins. Like, they could be born at the same time. They're twins that way. But even if that's the case, and they say Tariq is Kanan's son, so would the little girl.
But she made Raina, like, pretty much implied that before she died. She was like, this is going to be our first birthdays apart.
Well, yeah, I'm not negating the fact that her and Tyreek are twins. I'm not negating that fact. I'm just saying that it's still possible for Kanan to be the father of both of them kids.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you can't say that, it's just Tyreek is his son. I'm saying if that's the case, both of those kids will have to be his, just not Tyreek. If that's the spin you're trying to put on it.
I mean, we're going to find out more as things go on, but there is something that Kanan and Tasha share that don't nobody else know about, which is some of the reason why she wanted Kanan out of there. So something's going to come out.
My take on it is, what if those are Kanan's kids and she just lied about it because she didn't want to believe that those were really his kids? So she told Ghost that those were his kids, but they're not. Now that would be some crazy shit.
Or it was some shit like she was trying to get back at Ghost because Ghost did something scandalous to her or whatever. Or maybe
that's
she was Kanan girl first.
That's a whole lot of baby mama daddy drama.
Or maybe she was Kanan's girl first and she went for the bigger, better deal because Ghost was the next biggest thing moving.
Oh, God. Because she did say...
You just never know.
She did say in the first season, I knew you were going to be the goddamn biggest drug dealer in New York City, whatever the fuck she said.
Right. So when I look at it from that aspect, I'm like, okay, well, there's something going on with Kanan and Tasha. I don't know if it has to do with the kids or not.
They were fucking at one point. He fucked her. Because remember when he robbed the firm and he was like, that's your bitch calling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was like, Kanan, this is my wife.
Yeah, like and that's what I'm saying. And he was even telling Sean, like, don't let that bitch finesse you. Like, she's smarter than she looks, this, that, and the, you know what I mean? Like, so she did something. She finessed him in some type of way, some type of something. And I feel like them kids are connected somehow, some way. I don't know how, but they're connected.
And stay tuned. We gonna have a nurse on here talking about being inseminated from 2 different... That's gonna be our next episode. Cause shit. We're gonna have a few doctors on the show.
Now tell me that you don't think Power could write some shit like that.
No, I believe it. I don't put it past them. I know they're highly capable because they have some really good producers and writers. 50 is a smart man, but he's not doing all this shit by himself. He has an amazing team over there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I don't put it past anybody. I believe it. I wouldn't be surprised if they put some type of crazy ass spin on this shit. I mean, the show is crazy. It's just gonna get crazier. I don't, like I said, I don't put it past them. At this point, I don't think I'll be even shocked about what's gonna happen next. Now, let me say, I was shocked. They did get me with the whole Raina shit. They shocked the hell out of everybody. But after that, I was just like, oh, okay. Man, that's some good ass writing.
They got some impeccable writing over there. Like, no one stays at home on a Saturday night for a TV show.
I know I didn't. Let me tell you, like, I wasn't really into series until Power and Insecure and ATL, and that's another show we're gonna talk a little bit about. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. He's one talented man. We'll talk about that show a little bit too. But Like we said, y'all catch up on your Power. If you haven't even watched the first season and you're not really a Power watcher, don't listen to this shit until you start watching.
Okay, so what I just texted the nurse that I know, and what it's called, it is possible for twins to have different fathers, and a phenomenon called heteropaternal I can't even say that last thing. We'll put it in the comments so that you guys know what the hell we're talking about, which occurs when 2 of a woman's eggs are fertilized by sperm from 2 different men. So that can happen. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen.
Did you know this?
Me personally, no. I just was, on my Power shit saying, is that possible? Can she have been pregnant by 2 different men at the same time? And the nurse said, yes, that is very possible. And this is what it's called. And I'm like, what in the entire... She's like, yes, it's possible. It can happen. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen.
Ooh, just wait till I tweet this shit out. Some motherfuckers out there, if you motherfuckers out there doing some shady ass shit, you better be motherfucking careful. Oh my God. You learn something new every day.
You learn something new every day. I said, I'm like, I have to text her because I need to know. I don't want to sound stupid on our podcast. And people are like, this is crazy. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, does she
get her on the show?
Does she mind if we shout her out? Like, what's her name? Thank you for this information. Or does she kind of want to be left alone?
I don't know. I'll have to text her, see if she texts me back. She's actually working at the same time. I was just surprised that she actually texted me back while we were...
we don't want to put her on blast then if she's at work.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to I didn't think she would get back to me so fast, but she did.
Thank you. We appreciate you for that valuable information while we're recording.
So she got back to me pretty quickly. I appreciate that she got back to me. I looked up what she sent to me, and it is a thing.
Okay, well, you know what? When we finish wrapping up recording, I am straight to the fucking researching. I might write me a fucking article about this.
Seriously, because this is crazy. Like, I didn't think it was possible, but it's very possible. It doesn't happen.
Damn.
They even have case studies on it where you can read on the case studies that it's happened. Bitch. It is insane. Yes. Maybe you can pronounce it.
No. What?
Yes, it's insane. Like,
you know what? Actually, we will be back. We will actually be back with an episode on this, and I assure you, we will find some people who have dealt with this.
Yes,
we're gonna have some witnesses
because they have case studies. Like, I'm like, I want to know.
No, we will have some twins like that on the show.
Do you feel like a woman be like, I'm never admitting to that? Does that mean you're a hoe?
No, we will find somebody.
But does that mean you're a hoe?
Both of them motherfuckers is a hoe.
I'm just saying, like...
Let me be quiet. We're gonna have to get back to this another day. We done went off cut here.
I'm just saying, dog. Like, this is... Okay, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But that shit is crazy right now.
Look, that's a whole ass situation.
That is a whole ass situation. That I don't even like. We're gonna have to explore that a little bit more.
Bitch, when you said I done reached out to a nurse and I said she done did what? What done happened?
Yes, I needed to know. They're even saying there's triplets like this. The fuck? Nah, dog. That can't be real life.
I can't take this. You guys, please tune into this episode. Please share this episode. When we tell you guys to share our episodes, please do it. Click our episodes, please. That will be a big help to us if you spread the word and then you are clicking on our episodes. You are sharing them on social media, posting them. You know, whatever platforms you use, please do that. You know, we would greatly appreciate that.
That's crazy. So I'm still stuck on this whole, like, I can't even get off my head.
Topic Queen is still stuck on this. Also, you can follow. I'm gonna let her be over there stuck on that. You can follow us on Twitter at We Peeped It First. Instagram Lee_Peeps_it. on Instagram as well. The Topic Queen, DA Topic Queen on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Email wepeepeditfirst@gmail.com. Please hit us up. You can also listen to us on SoundCloud and YouTube as well. So please stay tuned. Please make sure you're tuning in, to each of our new episodes. We greatly appreciate it, y'all. Man, Topic Queen.
Yo, son, this is crazy.
Topic Queen. Topic Queen has me flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted right now. And yes, it's been confirmed. We're talking all this crazy stuff about having twins from two different men, but it actually was confirmed. Courtney Kemp confirmed that indeed those twins are ghosts. She says, not at all. Tariq and Raina are twins. They are ghost kids. Can we stop this rumor? So she put an end to those rumors because someone, actually a lot of people were posting that those were Kanan's kids. But Courtney Kemp, she put it all to an end on Twitter and said, nah, those are ghost kids. But Tasha probably is still connected to Kanan in some type of way. I mean, hey, what if Sean was really her son? That would be nuts. But anyways, we gotta go. We gotta go. Y'all, we are out. This is your girl, legit, with her legitimate perspective.
2 opinions, too many topics, 1 crown. I am the Topic Queen. Signing off until next week.
We outro. Power. Don't ever forget, we peeped it first.
We peeped it. Don't ever forget that.